Hey Alexander, this is Keaton Everett with ABC, going over your pitching video from camp. We're going to go through and talk about your motion and your mechanics and, kind of break it down frame by frame and kind of show you what we're looking for at each spot to kind of get you a sense of where you need to be to make sure we're using our body, keeping ourselves healthy. And, especially at your age, we got to make sure that sort of everything's in place. Mechanically, making sure the understanding's there. So when you get older, get that coordination. Pitching's a really hard sort of athletic task, and all of sports involves a whole lot of moving parts, involves a lot of balance, coordination, strength, and so we're just got to try to get you set up for as you get older and kind of get those abilities there. Everything's going to be in place, so it's never too young to start. So basically off the back, pitching's all about balance, all right, staying over that back leg before we start going too much, and so you're doing a good job at starting there, all right. Now what I want you to try to sort of get, the main concept behind this video is going to be what your lower half's doing, all right. And so, like I was saying, as you get older, this lower half's going to be, the engine behind everything. That's where we get our velocity, that's where we get that's just the starting block of everything. That's how we get rolling. And so we need to see these hips lead down the mound, all right? So we need to see them getting going once this front foot starts to come down, all right? And so if we kind of draw a box over this body right here, all right, you can see as this leg's coming down, you're just kind of staying back there, and then you kind of start going, leading with this foot right here, all right? And so at this point with this foot, we'd still want to see this foot, back here somewhere, all right? Leading with, that's kind of what I mean by leading with the hips, is we want that hip to get out in front instead of that foot, until the last minute. So maybe we're down here, now that foot's, starting to swing out here instead of back here, because all this does back here is when you kick it out, start open, is it's just going to fly open. We're going to lose our lower half. And it's just going to kind of leak everything, cause us to pull. And so as we start ticking forward here, just watch that foot as it swings out. All right, boom, you're landing really far wide open. All right, this is a little bit extreme, even for your age. And so just something to always be aware of, even when you're playing catch, even at practices. Draw that line and try to get straight towards whoever you're playing catch with, towards that target, all right? So as you get older and get stronger, all right, if this were to keep happening, what happens here is not only do we lose power and velocity, but what we do is we load up this back shoulder, this back elbow with a lot of stress, all right? Our body doesn't take any of the stress of the acceleration forward, and so all the brunt of that is placed up here, leads to arm injuries, and whatnot. So just make sure that we're landing straight in line. So now ideally we'd like to see you, somewhere out here. All right, that front foot's out there. And then what that does is when we're closed there, now our back arm's going to be farther back. This front side's going to be closed. All right, and then we're going to get in this position right here where everything's still closed. There's no load on that back side yet. It's power stored in your hips, power stored in that lower half, instead of everything's happening up here. All right, so that's just the biggest thing, through that release point. I mean, everything as you rotate forward is pretty good. You're getting pretty good extension. Your head is out over that front foot pretty well. All right, and so now that's just the biggest thing is staying in line with everything. We'll roll through here this next one. You can see here again, it's just popping wide open. This one's even a little bit more, so once that foot hits the ground right there, you can see that glove's curled in even more right here. It's just a way too big of extreme angle there, all right? Try to get it more in line and get this front shoulder, keep that closed a lot longer, because we want to try to keep everything healthy. It's, believe me, going through injuries, not being able to play, that's a horrible spot to be in. So we just got to make sure you're at that age now where you're still kind of learning everything, getting a feel, and so just make sure it's just such an easy sort of drill to do. Just make sure everything's online, all right? Try to get a feel of using your right side to throw the ball and not your left side. And again, this is a big strength thing, but try to get that right side to do all the work. All right, so all that left side's kind of doing is just kind of, you know, guiding you out there, staying close, but then that right side powers everything. You throw with your right hip, throw with that right shoulder, and not the other way around. So when you get down the road a little bit, it's going to be good because that release is good. You know, getting down over that front foot is hard. You know, you're releasing with some good angle, so now it's just a matter of trying to store up more energy, get everything rolling, and that'll take care of you know, just landing in line with that catcher. So, you know, hopefully we'll be able to kind of tweak that up a little bit, and I know it might be a little bit uncomfortable at first, but just work on really hammer out direction. So anyways, man, thanks for making it out to camp. Hopefully you had a great time, and hopefully we'll see you with ABC.